and I am Little Bird Products. Thank you for joining me today. If you have subscribed, thank you very much for being a subscriber. It does help. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button so you get notified every time I post a new video. Today, what I'm doing is giving you my first midweek check-in for November. And I'm happy to say that today is going better than the last few days have gone. I like to do these midweek check-ins because they kind of keep me, well, I'd like to say they keep me focused, but if you've watched my other videos, you know that sometimes shiny objects and the squirrels come out. But I was able to finish everything that I wanted to get finished from last week. It only took me 2 days this week to get it finished. And I'll put some videos at the end that show you my finished products that I didn't show you in the other video. What I have decided to focus on this week, because as I said before, I only have a week and a half left before my next show, and then I have 2 back-to-back shows in November. What I'm going to focus on is my flannels. I don't have any flannel shirts in the store, and it's starting to get a little cooler here, which means, you know, it's only in the 70s, low 80s during the day, and it gets down below 50 at night in Texas. So I got out, let me see if I can change my focus here. I got out my flannels, went through what I had stashed, and I have quite a stash, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shirts selected. I'm hoping to get at least 4 of them completely finished this week. And up on my ironing board here, I have some what I call completer pieces. Actually, they're pajama bottoms, flannel pajama bottoms, and I cut those up into strips and pieces, and I use them as completer pieces when I'm upcycling. What I want to do today is use the rest of the day to design these shirts, and that takes, you know, as I've said before, the majority of the time is in designing, not as much in sewing, well, I should say, in designing and then serging the cut edges. I haven't decided exactly what style I'm going to use to upcycle these. I know that I want to upsize them. Most of them are men's shirts. I think a couple of them might be women's. But I like to open up the sides and open up the backs, and I like to restyle the sleeves and the neckline. So I'm going to be working on that, and that's actually the fun part. I do have one shirt, actually it's a jacket that I had been working on a few weeks ago, and when I decided to do some flannel for it, I decided to put it aside waiting for this. And I have that hanging on my mannequin, but it's just in the, you know, sort of halfway design stage. So I'm going to probably try to finish that one first after I get these designed. And cross your fingers, I'm not overloading myself this week. I'm trying to be more focused. And I'm also going to do an inventory of my book pocket pillows to see if I need to get any more of those done. So I want to get that out and put those aside for the ones that I want to get made for my show next week. The other thing that I want to get done, and I'll probably do this in the evening because after 5 o'clock I don't do any sewing because I have a hard time maintaining my focus when it gets later in the evening. So I usually try to have 5 o'clock is wine o'clock dinner, and then do some relaxing things. One thing I did make this week was something for myself, and I'll show a picture of me in my new little outfit at the end. I made a pair of bloomers, and I showed a little shot of them in my last video. I'm real happy with them. I'm wearing them today. They're very comfortable. The only thing I didn't do with them yet is put pockets in them, and that does take a little time, so I'm thinking I'm going to let the pockets wait until the next time I decide to wear them, or when I get bored with doing sewing, which I never do, but pockets are the thing that I always put off till the end. And yes, where was I at? My pockets. So I might do something fancy with my pockets, or maybe I won't, but I already have the pants assembled, and once you have the pants together, it's a little more difficult to sew the pockets on. So I might put the pockets on my little jacket. I made a little zero waste French fold shrug, the same material. Actually, it was a sheet, and I really like the sheet. And I like the pattern on it, and I like the feel of it. It's lightweight. And so I did make a French fold shrug to go with my bloomers, and it makes a nice little casual outfit. I will put a link in the comments to the pattern for the bloomers and to the pattern for the French fold shrug if you're interested in those. I do have both of those in an earlier video, but there's also a pretty good video on making the bloomers. They're not a difficult make. They're only pattern pieces wise, there's only 2 pattern pieces. There's just a pants piece, and it's for the front and the back both. And then there's a piece that's for the cuff at the bottom, because the Elope bloomers kind of had this kind of inside out dart thing at the bottom. You don't really need to do that. You could, if you don't want to, you can just put ruffles at the bottom, or you can leave them short, a shorter length. So you can make them just a straight pair of bloomers. But anyway, they're a very easy pair of pants, and I put a drawstring at the waist, and just make them super relaxed. And they really make, actually, without the complicated piece on the bottom, they make a nice little pair of pajama pants. So if you're just into wanting something really simple to make, they're a very simple, very casual pair of pants. And the French fold shrug, I really like it because I've mentioned it before, and I make it quite a bit, because it starts out just as a big rectangle. And then there's only 2 things you cut. You just cut these 2 diagonal pieces, and you cut a little slit up the front that's for the front opening. And then you can finish that, or just serge the edges, or just do a little rolled hem, whatever you want. And there's lots of ways of, changing it up. But I put pockets on it, I put lace on it, I put one flap up and put another pocket. Maybe I'll do a video later on after my shows are over and do it just on the French fold shrug and the different ways that I modify it. And I think it's really fun. And it's a really easy little jacket to actually make reversible. And that's kind of nice too, because then you don't have to finish any of the edges. You just turn it right side out. So yeah, I think I'll put that up, and why don't you tell me if you would like to see that, if you're into making a really, quick and easy little French fold jacket. And I like the name of it anyway. Call it a French fold shrug, and it's zero waste, which is really nice. There is one little piece of waste, and I don't waste it. I just turn it on the inside, and that's where I put my label. So I have enough little fabric scraps. I try not to waste anything. I'm almost a fanatic when it comes to that. I don't like to throw any fabric away. Anyway, that's enough for today. And stick around to the end, and you'll see little videos. I love my little dancing videos and twirling around in my new things that I've made. And I will get making, and then post on Sunday for what I got done. No squirrels, no shiny objects. I'm still wearing my shiny objects. Have a great day. Bye.